So, this happened when I was in my early 20s. Thinking about it still gives me chills. I've never been the type to scare easily, but this messed me up for a long time. For context, at the time, I worked late nights at a small diner. The diner was about a 15-minute walk from my apartment, and since I didn't have a car, I usually took the same route home every night. It wasn't a bad neighborhood, but it gets eerily quiet after midnight. Barely any cars, people, and just the occasional street lamp flickering like it's struggling to stay alive. That night, we finished closing around 1 a.m. My feet were killing me, so I popped in my earbuds and started my walk home like usual. I was about 5 minutes in when I got that feeling. You know, the one where the hairs on the back of your neck stand up and your gut is practically screaming at you that something's wrong. At first I brushed it off, just paranoia, right? But then I caught movement in my peripheral. Someone was walking behind me. Not too close, but definitely keeping pace. I told myself it was just another late-night walker, but something about them felt off. I took out my earbuds and listened. Their steps matched mine. Every time I sped up, they did too. When I slowed down, so did they. And that's when the fear kicked in. I decided to test it further. At the next street, instead of continuing straight, like I usually did, I took a random left leading into a smaller street, a place I had no reason to go. A few seconds later, I heard footsteps turning the corner behind me. At this point, my adrenaline was through the roof. My apartment was still a few blocks away, and I didn't want to lead whoever this was straight to where I lived. I spotted a 24-hour laundromat and made a beeline for it. The second I stepped inside, the fluorescent lights felt blinding, but I didn't care. I turned towards the glass and watched. There he was, a man in a dark hoodie standing just outside, facing the laundromat. He didn't come in, he just stood there, watching. I pretended to be on my phone, acting like I was waiting for someone, but my hands were shaking so bad I could barely type. I stole glances at him through the reflection in the glass, and after what felt like an eternity, he finally backed away, disappearing into the night. I waited another 20 minutes before I dared to leave, taking a different route home, checking behind me every few seconds, my heart hammering the whole way. I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't ducked into that laundromat, and I don't want to know. But now, years later, I never walk home alone at night, and I never, ever ignore that gut feeling. I've always felt safe in my neighborhood. It's a quiet suburb. Nothing ever really happens here, and that's why when my parents went out of town for the weekend and left me home alone, I didn't think much of it. I'm 22, old enough to handle a couple of nights by myself. The first night was uneventful. I watched some TV, made some late-night snacks, and passed out on the couch. But the second night was a different story. Around 11:30 p.m., I was in my room scrolling through my phone when I heard something outside. At first, it just sounded like rustling. I thought maybe the wind or some animal in the bushes. But when I actually listened, it was footsteps right outside my window. I froze. My bed is against the wall, directly under my window, and even though the blinds were down, I swear I could feel someone on the other side. I held my breath, listening. Nothing. Then came the tapping. Light at first, just 3 soft taps against the glass. Hearing them made my stomach drop. I didn't move. My brain was scrambling for a rational explanation, but deep down, I knew there wasn't one. Then the tapping got louder, more insistent, like whoever was out there wanted me to know that they were there. I grabbed my phone and without making a sound, opened the camera. My hands were shaking as I switched to video mode and slowly lifted the bottom of the blinds, just enough to slip my phone under and record outside. I hit record. For 5 seconds, The camera showed nothing but the dark yard. Then, just as I was about to pull it back, a face appeared. A man standing just inches from my window. I swear my heart stopped. His face was pale, eyes wide, staring straight into the camera like he knew I was recording. I yanked my phone back so fast I nearly dropped it. My whole body was shaking. I didn't know what to do. Should I call the police? Should I turn on the lights and let him know I saw him? But before I could decide, I heard movement again. This time, it was coming from the backyard gate, a metallic click followed by the slow creak of it swinging open. And that was it. I sprinted to my parents' room, locked the door, and called the police. By the time the cops arrived, he was gone. No footprints, no sign that anyone had been there, except for the gate, which was slightly open. I still have the video. It's grainy, dark, but you can definitely see a face. I don't know who it was or what he wanted, but the idea that he was watching me through my window for who knows how long still makes my skin crawl. I haven't stayed home alone since. Hey guys, thanks for listening in. If you like these kinds of stories, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss what's lurking in the next video. Before you go, please hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.